And I'm gonna. Okay. So that's kind of the gist on softball. Again, please note that we're gonna be all the teams will be playing on 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then skills will be taking place at 2 o'clock as well on field 2, I believe. Let me just sneak over, to the softball schedule. Oh goodness. Okay. You guys should have received this today, softball coaches. I did give this out, so hopefully you guys all got this. Again, we'll be on fields 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, okay? Fields 2 and 3 are a little bit smaller. We put some of our a little bit lower divisions on that team, and fields 4 and 5 are regulation, as those are our top or our higher divisions. We've got a couple of modified divisions here. A reminder, in the modified division, you are allowed to use a tee or be pitched to. So that would be in division M2 and division M1. Everyone else will be pitched to. You cannot move the mound in. We will not change the distance of the bases. And we will be using safety first base as well as a safety home plate line as well. And then we do have a division over here of all athlete teams. So I've got those teams together. And then again, anyone that has athletes and skills will be participating at 2 o'clock in the skills area. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second and see if anybody has any softball questions.
Susan, this is Christina from DDRC. We had
Susan.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead.
We had a quick question on shin guards. Are they required to wear shin guards?
We are strongly recommending it. If there's a particular reason they can't wear shin guards, let's touch base that morning and we can talk through that.
Okay, we don't have any shin guards available currently. Do you all have any that we can borrow?
Let me double check on that and I'll circle back with you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And you know what? I have to apologize. We were a couple of years displaced from softball. So I'll go back and double check that, Christina. Now that you mentioned, I feel like we might have updated that rule, but I will let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other softball questions? Great. I'm gonna go ahead and reshare my screen.
Hey, Susan, how long are the games going to be on softball?
They will be 55 minutes and no new inning will start after the 55 minutes.
Okay. And are they also required to use the chin straps, or is that no longer applicable?
Nope, we took that out. I do remember that we did take that out a couple of years ago when we did softball.
Okay.
So they will not need to use a chin strap. However, all batters will need to have a helmet on. I know that can be a little bit challenging, and we can allow some extra time in there for some sanitizing in between. Oh, and yeah, it looks like Jason is on the chat. Thanks, Jason. It says that catchers only need to wear the mask and the chest protector. So Christina, you don't need to worry about shin guards. I thought we had changed that once we started talking about it. So thanks, okay. Jason. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Okay.
Susan,
any other? Yes.
We had a question about if concessions will be open at softball.
Nope, we will be providing Subway sandwiches as well as Uncrustables, but concessions will not be open. We'll have water on site, but I'll encourage you guys to bring with any refreshments you would like to bring with. We also encourage athletes to bring with water bottles that they can use, personal water bottles, to be able to refill at the water coolers that we'll have as well. Okay, all right, moving on. Oh, yep, go ahead.
One other thing, will there possibly be masks in case athletes forget to bring a mask, or yep. Will they be selling them at a vendor station?
Both. We will have some a limited supply of souvenirs there that we can purchase, but Mary will also have some disposable masks that athletes can use if they need to. I mean, obviously it's going to be maybe a little bit toasty per usual in at this event. So, you know, if masks get sweaty, we'll definitely have extras so athletes can replace them so that they're comfortable as well.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm also thinking of spectators who maybe they think, oh, I'm vaccinated, and they don't realize they need to have a mask as well.
Yes, and if you guys could, share the message with your team, and do your best to spread that word. But yes, absolutely, we will have a stash of masks at each field for softball, as well as in that center section, as well as over at bocce and golf too.
And athletes can use either a mask or the what are they called? Gator.
Like the buffs. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Either option is acceptable. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna hop over to golf next. We've got golf taking place right over here at Aurora Hills Golf Course. For those of you that have been there before, it will look pretty similar. Once you guys enter in, we'll have a tent set up right over there by the first tee, and we will just take off right from there. I also shared the golf tee times at some point this week. Sorry, all the days are blending together. I don't remember when. So we'll be starting our tee times at noon. Going all the way through to 2:22 p.m. for our tee times. Those of you that have athletes and skills, that will take place at 2 o'clock, and you'll just be able to meet over at the putting green, which is also right by the first tee, and we'll be able to see everybody there at that point. Okay. Any golf questions? Oh, one more thing, golf coaches. If you have athletes that need a cart, I will need an email by the end of the day on Thursday if they need a cart. I will be providing the golf course with a list of who needs a cart. If you're not on that list, let's just be on that list. Just if you need folks, and I've gotten a few from you guys, if you've got folks that need a cart, please just share a quick email with me stating why the cart is needed. I know in the past we've required the doctor's note, but I also trust that you guys aren't going to take advantage of that system. So if we could just be as honest and upfront as we can in regards to, you need a cart. Why do you need a cart? You'll be on a list. If you're not on that list, I don't want to have to get the phone call that we need to figure something out. So any golf coaches on here, please, please, please shoot me an email with that information that you need a cart. Okay. Any questions on golf? Perfect. And then moving back over here, again, this is where our bocce team check-in awards and courts are going to take place. I had a walkthrough with them earlier in the week, and I asked them how short they can cut the grass. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll have a good low length of grass for the event. It sounded like they were willing to go as short as they do in the outfield of the baseball field. So hopefully that all comes through, and we'll be able to have nice short grass for our athletes to compete in as well. All bocce coaches should have received this grid today. And this will show you exactly who's playing on what courts. We do have some smaller divisions, and we do also have a couple, anywhere from 2 to 4 people are in the divisions. The singles will play double elimination. So if they are in a 2-person division, they will play each other 2 or 3 times, depending on how many times they win. In a 3-team division, it's kind of the same thing. And then in the 4-team division, this 12 o'clock time slot will be an if needed time slot. Okay. That will be our morning. We will take a lunch break on all the courts. You guys can grab lunch. Again, we'll be providing Subway sandwiches as well as Uncrustables. And then in the afternoon, we will start with our unified doubles on these first few courts here. And then starting on court H, we will have our all athlete doubles. Again, those are anywhere from 3 to 4 in those divisions. Those are bracketed play like we typically play. So that is, for example, this one right here. I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger. This division doubles M2. These athletes are all in the same division. So the winners of these 2 matches will move on to this match. Those that didn't win will move on to the consolation match. So this will be the gold medal match, and this will be the bronze medal match. Okay. There is parking along this side down here, and there also is parking along this side up here. So if you're playing on fields 2 and 3, I recommend that you park up in this area. There is a little overflow lot across the street over here, but I don't foresee us needing that. This lot over here is pretty large for the golf course as well, so you guys are more than welcome to use this. But I just want to reiterate that once, if you're parking right down here and you want to go right to field 5, we do need everybody to check in prior to their first game so we can double check rosters, get all of our fun forms and paperwork filled out, and go from there. Those of you that are playing bocce, once you check in, we'll have you guys just report out to your courts as we get started in the day. If you are, for example, if you've got an athlete, let me scroll back up here. Like if Sarah is not playing till 9:30, I would say just hang out in that court B. This game might not take a whole half hour. You don't need to be there right at 9, but as long as you have eyes on it, as soon as this one's done, then Sarah and Rachel can head on over there to get the match started. If we can run ahead on these times on the side over here, we will do that as well. Okay. I'm gonna pause on the sharing for a second. Any questions on that? Subway sandwiches, we will be getting some vegetarian ones, and the Uncrustables are, I believe they're vegetarian. They're peanut butter and jelly, but I probably shouldn't assume. But they are the peanut butter and jelly Smucker's sandwiches. Yes.
I have a question about bocce. I'm not sure where we're supposed to set up canopies. It doesn't look like there's a lot of space.
Yep, and let me pull this up real quick. Oh, let me share my screen again. So this, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. Sorry, I should have done that sooner. This area right here where I'm tracing from this black plus sign all the way down here, they typically fit a football field in that space. So within that space, there'll be plenty of room. We'll be setting up 17 courts, so we won't be setting up as many courts as we typically do. So there'll be quite a bit of space. I would probably recommend kind of being out in this area of the outfield out here, Lynn, but once you get there, you'll be able to see where our courts are set up, or we'll at least have that marked out so that then you can place your tent accordingly.
Okay, that sounds good.
Any other bocce questions? Or in general questions on any of that? Mary, for the matches that moved to the gold medal and the bronze medal. So the athletes that move to the gold medal games, the athletes or teams that win that will get the gold medal. The athlete or teams that lose that will get the silver medal. Athletes that move to the bronze medal games or matches, athletes that win that will get the bronze medal, and athletes that lose that game will get the fourth place ribbon. Okay, fantastic. And don't worry, tennis folks, I have not forgotten about you guys. I'm gonna share my screen real quick here. Tennis will be taking place at Utah Park. All of you should have received this schedule here that has the round 1 match time as well as the round 2 match time. Our skills will take place at 9 a.m. and our singles will start in the morning with our unified doubles starting in the afternoon. Again, with this, these times are a little bit fluid. Chris and Christy did an amazing job to get some match times out. Just be aware and be available to play earlier if need be. If we've got people that aren't able to make it or anything along those lines, just kind of keep that in mind as well. But we'll move through the day over there, and that is at Utah Park. And I apologize, I did not make a map for that, but I'm going to pull that up real quick and show you guys which courts that we are going to be playing on. If you give me 1 second. Pull that up. There are 10 courts there. There's 1 court that we will not be using. The folks at the facility just didn't think it was a super great court for the athletes. So this court right here in the middle, right here just off to the west side, I believe that is, we will not be using that court. That's where our young athletes will be doing their demonstration in the afternoon. So we'll be using courts 1 through 9. This area over here, kind of right where my arrow is, there's a little shelter pavilion type thing there. And then this is the area where we will set up some tents in. Now with tennis, I think, a big part of tennis is sometimes the social aspect and the hanging out of it, which we understand. But we do hope that the teams will be able to spread out. So there is a little bit of a dirt path that goes on this end over here to get around. And then up here on the north side, there's a little bit of a grassy hill. So there is great viewing for all the spots. There's great entrances and exits to all of the courts as well. The majority of our pieces will be set up over here. So once you're over here looking at your match time and you're realizing it's getting to be close to 10 a.m. That's a bad example. Let's look over here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Super sorry about that. The DPR Golden Rackets, once it's getting close to this 10 a.m. time slot, if you're that coach, you're having Elizabeth head on over to the main area where Chris and Christy will be running the table from there. Okay. Let's see. I know a few of you have sent me some roster changes, and I'm still working on getting those finalized. They've been kind of coming in a little bit fast and furious here at the last hour, but I will be working on getting those squared away. For those of you folks that will be at cycling, Corey Chandler will be the main contact there with some volunteers. For those of you that will be at tennis, Adrian Mora will be over there with the group leading that. For those of you who are over at bocce and softball, or for sure over at softball, Elizabeth will be there, the Northeast Regional Manager. And then I will be floating between bocce and softball as well. So Beth, yes, you can bring canopies over to tennis. That's not a problem as long as you're obviously putting them, not in the middle of the tennis court, on the outside area, and keeping yourself socially distanced would be great as well. Okay. Any questions on the event this weekend? Anything I missed? Anything that, yeah, just anything. Yep, and Matt, if you can, we will, there are bleachers at all of the fields that we have. Sorry, Matt asked a question in regards to the social distancing in the dugouts. I know that's a little bit challenging. So, do the best that you can with that. There are a lot of bleachers at the stadium. I believe there's 2 sets on each side as well as a set behind home plate, if I remember correctly, for all the fields. So your team can overflow into that if need be as well. Yep, and Greg, Unified Partners, while they're participating, they can pull their masks down as well. So anyone that's competing can remove their masks while they're competing. Okay, great. Any other questions, concerns about the event on August 7th? Perfect. Well, everyone's welcome to stay on unless there's questions on the 7th. Those of you that will be there this weekend, you guys can go ahead and hop off. We've got a few other events coming up this month that I'm going to cover with the rest of the coaches. Again, anyone's more than welcome to stay on, but those of you that are going to be in Denver, we look forward to seeing you. I know there's also some volunteers on here. If you guys can stick on till the end, if that's not a problem, I'll kind of cover a few more specifics with all of you as well. Okay. Yeah, and Greg, we should be good on tennis balls. So I think we're okay. If not, I will reach out to you, but I think we just did a reorder to restock. So I'll get back with you, Greg, if that's a different situation. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you later if you're hopping off. Otherwise, you can just stick on and listen to me babble some more about everything. Awesome. All right, I don't think we have anyone on from the Western Slope here, so I can skip over that one. It looks like we've got a few folks here that will be attending the Air Force Academy on August 21st. So I'm gonna go ahead and cover just a few basics of that event. And then probably tomorrow and the next day, you'll be getting your paperwork information from Tasha, as well as your event list to double check with me. I had a few the late entries coming in, so I want to try to make sure my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed. I always say that backwards before I get everything out to you to try to alleviate some of the emails. So for those of you that are participating on the 21st, any tennis folks, Tim, I know you're coming down to play tennis on that day, correct? Give me 1 second and I can pull up that schedule. The other schedules will follow similarly to what we're doing in the Denver one, but let me go ahead and pull this up and I will share my screen here. Here is the tennis schedule for August 21st. Again, this event's going to take place at the Air Force Academy. We were there a couple years ago for the state tournament, so those of you that were familiar with it or those of you that were there will be a little bit familiar with it. The tennis court is actually a little bit displaced from the other events that we're going to be doing. So I'll send out a map on where you guys should park for that. But here's the general gist of the competition and who's going to be competing, where and when. Again, this has got the first round match times as well as the second round match times. Those athletes that are doing individual skills, we will do that at 9 a.m. as well.
Susan, can you zoom in? Sorry.
Yes, I can do that. Sorry, keep forgetting to do that. Okay, there we go. So we've got our individual skills starting at 9 and then our singles play starting at 9 with our first round match taking place at 9 and our second round matches taking place after that. And then some of the first round matches, these are our unified doubles down here will be taking place at 11:30 and 12:15. So you guys will probably kind of be able to be packed up and hitting the road by about 2 o'clock on that day. So keep that in mind. We also have the Air Force Academy tennis players back in action, as well as wonderful support from the USTA with their officials and their volunteers and our amazing volunteer GOC for the tennis group that they do all the picking and prodding and the moving everybody around, which is always something I'm so fascinated with. No matter how many things I schedule, it's always amazing to watch them just work through all of that. So that is the gist for tennis on that day. The bocce will run similarly. We will do at 9 a.m. We'll do singles and we'll do double elimination. After that, we will switch over to doubles and we will do a single elimination for that. Again, I'm still working through once I send you guys your events to check, I will get you guys a schedule probably very early next week. You're the lucky group. It's the last event. So if I don't have all the kinks figured out by then, I think I just need to retire and hang up my hat at that point. So I think we should be pretty good for that event. Those of you that are playing softball, I will also get that information out to you. I have to confirm with the Air Force Academy exactly how many fields and where those are. So I'll finalize the map and send all that stuff out to you guys once we get closer. Again, the majority of it you'll get by the beginning of next week. Okay. Just a quick reminder that when I do send those rosters out, make sure you check them right away. And I think that's some of the delays I'm having in this week's event is we've got a lot of changes trickling in a little bit later. So the sooner you guys can get your information back to me, the sooner I'll be able to turn around and get everything all squared away for that event as well. Cycling, I know we've got an athlete in cycling. I don't think Karen, the coach, is on. So I can touch base with her on that. We are hoping to have a little bit of some of the young athletes in the cycling area as well for the Learn to Cycling on the 21st as well. Okay. Any other questions from coaches at this time?
Hey, Susan, Pete Thompson here. What about access for non-military folks trying to get on the academy?
Yep, I'm going to confirm that again. But last I spoke with my contact there, it'll be the same that it's been. You'll have to pull into the gates, show your driver's license. They'll maybe pop your trunk of your car, check it, and they'll be able to let you in. We should not have any issues with that, but it's a great point. I'll update that and let you know if there's any changes.
Yeah, they'll probably need to have proof of insurance and registration too.
Okay. I will double check on that and I'll include that with the information I send out to you guys on Monday.
Thank you.
Great. All right. I think we got through all the team portions. I know we've got a few volunteers on here. I got Worm, Kyle, Jolene, and I've got some staff on here as well. So I'm going to touch base on the back end of things. So coaches and athletes, you guys can go ahead and hop off unless, yeah, you can go ahead and hop off. You've listened to me babble enough about everything, and just think of how many more emails you're going to get from me over the next few weeks. But, reach out with any questions in the meantime, and we'll touch base soon. Oh, and Kristen's on here too. I thought I saw you on there earlier, Kristen. Perfect. All right. Let's see. Everything's jumping around. I need a minute. Okay. Kristen and Kyle, you guys are going to be over at the tennis venue. And I know you've got Courtney with you as well. So you guys will be over at tennis. You guys can check in with Adrian when you get there. If you guys could get there at 7 a.m. if that's doable, that'll give you guys time to get situated. Adrian will work with you on, what aspects you'll help out at that beginning of the day. Our registration process is a little more complex just with COVID for our volunteers as well as for our athletes and coaches. So we'll probably have some hands in that. Adrian, I know Jenny is going to meet with you. It's really funny talking to a lot of squares right now. I'm just going to throw that out there. Adrian, I know Jenny's going to get with you on the volunteer pieces for tennis. Thanks, I can see somebody now. It's a little bit less weird. So she'll connect with you on all of that. And you guys should be good to go. Oh yeah, you guys aren't in the car. Have you made it somewhere, Kristen? Oh, good.
Yeah, we're at the hotel for
We're at the
night.
hotel. For
Perfect. Okay, so you guys will all touch base. Jenny will get you all the information, Adrian. You'll have Michelle there, you'll have Chris there, you'll have Christy there. Becky's gonna be in charge of the USTA officials, and she'll know where to do that. I think what I'm gonna do, there's shaded seats on one side of the court, but I wanna keep that for the athletes. So what I'm probably gonna do is have chairs for the officials if they want them. And then I'm just gonna give them an umbrella, one of our souvenirs as an umbrella as a thank you so that they can be shaded from the sun. And so that'll be for the USTA officials that are on the court. And I think our volunteer number, Jenny, how are our volunteer numbers looking? If you don't have it, it's not a big deal right now.
No, we were good for tennis. The only place we were missing was golf.
Okay, that's a fine one to be missing at. Perfect. So you
Jenny,
should have
are
enough
they,
volunteers.
sorry, cut it off. Jenny, are they rotating? Do we have groups rotating in and out throughout the day, or is it the same group through the entire day?
No, they're die hard. They're going to be there all day.
Oof, okay, nice.
Yeah.
We'll pace them accordingly.
But just keep in mind that they won't be there till 8. Is that correct, Jenny?
Right. So we have
Yeah.
2 volunteer check-in volunteers that can help with the check-in process that are coming at 7:30, and then everyone else is coming at 8.
So the trade-off of only having to train people once is that they're not coming till 8, which I think I felt like was kind of a better trade-off than having to scramble and recirculate through folks.
So that works. The competition only starts at 9, so we have the window there. Okay. And Randy and Chris will do the training, right?
Becky, Chris is going to be there. Randy won't be there for the officials, but he's got someone lined up that'll do the training. I'm going to coordinate
Great.
all of you guys in an email tomorrow. I'm going to send out this recording that I forgot to start on time, so that anyone who wasn't here can watch it. And I think Pascal is also going to be at tennis, and there might be 1 or 2 other folks that I have at tennis. So Adrian, I'll send you an email with all their information so that you can make sure. I'm going to have those folks come at 7. So that you've got all hands on deck right there at 7. And then Chris, your intern, can head over there with you as well. Sweet. Okay, that's good for tennis. Kempers, you guys can hop off if you want to, but we're excited to see you guys. Thanks for making the trip. Safe travels. Where are you guys now?
We're in Salinas,
Okay,
Utah.
nice. How many more hours left?
about 8 or 9, but we did a day early so we could go watch the Cubbies get killed.
Nice, because they're not a team anymore.
You're not.
They're not a team. No, they're awful, but they're still my favorite.
It's only her. It's only her.
I had a friend, I'm from the Midwest, so I have some Cubs fan friends, and my friend was like, today's a good day when they made all the trades. Today's a good day to check on your Cub fan friends. Like, we're not okay. It's like, oh, okay, makes sense. Awesome. Well, safe travels. Enjoy the game, and we appreciate you guys coming out. We look forward to seeing you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
can't
you.
wait.
Sweet. All right, Jolene and Worm. Thanks for sticking around. I've got you guys over at Highland Park to start the day with. Jolene, I'm going to have you helping out with some registrations. I think we'll play it by ear whether that's going to be team registration or volunteer registration. We'll kind of have to see where people end up fitting in and how much extra help we need versus what Jenny needs. I mean, I guess Jenny is probably more dialed in than I currently am right now with some registration, so I might need to steal your expertise, Jolene, over there. And then once that's done, I'm going to have you transition over to souvenirs, which will be in a similar area where you were at the event on June 5th, the summer games. So Any questions on that, Jolene? Oh, I think you're on mute. Take that as a no. But if you have any questions, give a holler. If you could be at the park at 6:30 that day, that would be awesome. And same with you, Worm. I'm probably going to have you overseeing some of the support service, as well as the Uncrustables, because I know you love the Uncrustables, Worm. But I'll have you those areas where I showed where the porta potties were. Those areas also have water. So what we'll do when we get there at about 6 or 6:30 is we'll drive through and kind of drop everything. And then I'll probably be able to have you drive around and get the coolers filled up and then get those put out, as well as the water buckets for the tents as well. So if you guys could be there at 6:30, that would be awesome. Sweet. Any questions?
Susan, nothing has changed since that meeting we had, right? We do not have to do temp check.
What was it,
Correct.
Jenny?
You haven't heard that anything's changed since our last meeting, right? That we do not have to do temp checks for anybody.
No, I have not heard that change, and I
Okay.
don't think our thermometers work anyways. So,
Double
so
checking.
no, we'll just have to have everybody sign in and then do the 2 COVID forms, the communicable disease form and the risk waiver form.
Sounds good, thanks.
Sweet. All right. Well, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. It's going to be a fantastic day. It should be nice and toasty. Maybe some storms will move in and it'll cool off, but not the day of, not on Saturday. It'll be a good day on Saturday. Worm, you unmuted. You got anything?
Nope, I was going to say I got no questions.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys. And we'll have a great day. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you hopping on tonight. I know everything's a little bit crazy and the good old Zoom calls, but one of these days we're going to have a meeting in the office and you guys, I'm going to splurge on all the snacks and goodies because I've got some money saved up for that. So I look forward to that day.
Nice job, Susan. See ya.
Guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.